Okay, so what I got here is a few more books to show what I use on not a daily but like a weekly basis on how to keep up on my game on drawing. A few of them. Okay, so um, if you're doing storyboarding, my I guess my passion is storyboarding and animation, storytelling, story artist, stuff like that. But um, I dabble in architecture a little bit, just because you use that in your perspectives in storyboards. So it's an old book I found out at a swap meet. It's called Architectural Illustration Inside and Out. It's really cool. If you can find this like online too, or letgo.com or something like that, it just gives you breakdowns of architectural ideas, some famous artists, what tools you need, profile views, layouts, your layout of like a building and stuff like that. It gives you a better understanding about the physical awareness, I guess, a physical part of buildings. Look at that. I used this in a drawing one time I pretty much just copied that and I put the spaceship of Independence Day right on there. And dude, it was a finals assignment. I got an A because of that book. A reference I use is called, it's backwards, but it's called The Art and History of San Francisco. I saw this book and I was drawn to it, and I think the reason is just it's got fascinating history on the city, but it's got these really just colorful pictures. But look at this, the perspective that's used, and the basic principles of perspective are kind of just thrown out. See this one right here? Like, it's the architecture in the city is pretty amazing. I mean, look at that. You got that building that just basically breaks all the rules, anyway, this basic book is just beautifully organized and pictured, and it's got the coolest little. Look at this. You try drawing that freehand, that's like ridiculous. Anyway, I use that for a reference for cities. Really good background pieces. The fundamentals of drawing landscape. Kind of boring. I mean, it's layout, and you want to just get your background pieces down. It gives you the rules. It basically helps you bring your background to life. It allows you to really think, like, if you're just going to throw a bush back there, no, throw a bush, but make it believable, I was into Kung Fu comics, which is like anime. This one gives you a complete breakdown on mangas, why they're so popular, why they are doing successful. The storytelling alone visually is just amazing. Their animation's amazing too, anime, but their mangas are just top notch. If you're into comics, I mean, who isn't? How to draw. I think I showed this in another video, but how to draw the wizard way, basically. What I recommend is keeping tabs on stuff that you go through in a book. You kind of want to reference it back. So I'll give you an example. I think I have a tab here, and this one was, I can't remember which one it was actually, but I went back to it. Oh, so I wanted to draw smoke, or kind of like the effects of element effects. And this one gives you like all the elements of like what a laser blast looks like, smoke clearing, stuff like that. Can't go wrong with body poses and proportions. Spider-Man is basically a big reference on like how to proportion a character correctly when he's jumping, when he's swinging, when he's fighting. There's ways to do that and come across. There's one book I want to show, but that I don't have. It's called it's an animation book by Preston Blair. If you guys know who Preston Blair is, you know that he created these rules of like how a character punches. He doesn't go like this because there's no action flow. He actually goes like that, and he shows the force coming through the arm. There's like he came up with like a superhero pose. He wanted to make sure that everything was proportional. They were all in shape. Anyway, I was fascinated with drawing cars. I mean, every kid, I say every boy or every kid really was always fascinated with drawing cars. And I got this book, How to Draw Cars Like a Pro. If you guys know who Chip Foose is, I think he bought one of these books as a young kid, and then he went to Art Center in Pasadena, and he basically worked with Disney recently too for a Cars project. But I mean, this stuff is amazing. One of the biggest things that I could not get over was drawing cars with its own perspective in a 3D environment that you created beforehand. and trying to relate this object and try to put it in that world. I'm not sure if you'd get me, but if you were to create a two-point perspective street and try to put that car, it runs on its own perspective. So even if it's parked at an angle, it won't follow the rules of the 2-point perspective layout that you just did. It'll actually have its own little 3-point perspective or 2-point perspective. More on that later. So, passion, storyboarding. This book, oh my god, Exploring Storyboarding has everything you need. I mean, I use this for when we were studying Brad Bird's elements, Brad Bird's rules on when he worked with The Simpsons, when he was working for Pixar. He helped utilize a lot of new classes that are run through CalArts right now, and based on the principles of how he successfully did storyboarding. Can't see much of it, but it basically teaches you using light source, camera direction. Here's a good example right there, how the camera looks and how it's represented. And you want to do this on the fly. You want to make sure that you create storyboards quick, easy, fast. What I mean easy is easy to read. Then I save the best for last. For animators, all those animators out there. The Illusion of Life. Oh my god, it's a heavy book. By Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson. Oh my god, this thing. Look at this thing. It's a monster. Jeez. But two of the 9 old men. Let me just move this so you can see it. I mean, they just pour their heart out making. I think what they did was they said, let's create the best animated book, a book about animation ever. And they succeeded. I mean, this thing has everything. It talks about the story, what's needed for a story, how animation is gonna look, how it's represented, these are the masters, these are the pros. This is what everybody learned from. I mean, it's amazing. It goes back to the old school comics. I mean, we're talking back in Universal's little trying to screw Walt Disney out of his stuff at times. So those are what I recommend. I recommend those books. There's a lot more. I don't have any at the moment, but you'll see some more videos about the tools, the markers. I mean, just look. I'll give you a little sneak peek. I just picked this up from Blick, and it's just your basic 24 color layout. I recommend Copics. I always recommend creating a little template. I mean, if you draw, you know that. If you color, you know that templates are a key essential part of when you apply color physically. Everything's run digitally now. I'm still getting into this whole digital thing too. I'm a little scared sometimes, but I'm still learning the ropes and stuff like that. I would love to get a Cintiq board and show you tutorials, but again, this is just a channel that's just starting. It's a little baby channel, and hopefully we can do some videos even with my baby. Look at that. I think she's gonna make it. We'll see. Alright guys, till next time. Bye.